So if you just broke a bone or tore a ligament, you're probably thinking, what the hell am I going to do? How am I going to not lose my gains? How am I going to maintain my fitness while I'm recovering? But the most important recovery hack, powerful than any drug, any biohack that you've ever heard of. I'm going to repeat that again for emphasis. If you don't give the body enough time to recover, you're going to prolong the time that you are injured. What's up guys, my name is Kaye and welcome to Part Beast Untamed. So recently I went through a surgery. I had a period of time where I was injured in a cast, I couldn't do much. And so in this video, we're gonna go over strategies that you can use to minimize muscle loss, muscle function, and overall athleticism. So who am I? Currently, I'm a nutritionist. I'm in school studying dietetics. I'm also a nerd in all health and wellness, fitness, movement, meditation, nutrition, obviously. And so naturally, I'm also very passionate about sharing my knowledge and helping others with their own health and wellness goals. Anyways, let's get into what you can do if you're going through an injury, if you're scared of losing muscle, of losing all your gains. What can you actually do and what actually works? This advice isn't going to be for a specific injury, but you can kind of figure out what you can do to implement this for your specific situation. So if you just broke a bone or tore a ligament, you're probably thinking, what the hell am I going to do? How am I going to not lose my gains? How am I going to maintain my fitness while I'm recovering? You want to create lots of low intensity type movement as much as you can safely do. This is going to create a lot of blood flow throughout the body and the brain, but it's also going to keep you active without creating any soreness. So personally, what I did is I walked 4 times a day, once in the morning and then once after every meal. And then I would also do some hand exercises while I was doing it. And if you can do it safely, prioritize strength training.
Recognize the council has made a decision, but given that it's a stupid-ass decision, I've elected to ignore it.
This is going to preserve muscle by sending the signal to the body that muscle is important. But the caveat is you want to do it in a way that doesn't create any soreness. So the best way, in my opinion, Hey, editing Kaye here. I also wanted to add as well as safe and okay with your doctor. Okay, back to the video. I like to do this is by what I call microdosing strength training. It's basically taking 2 full strength training routines that would just be done on 2 separate days, ideally full body, and then you would just spread them out throughout the week. What this typically looks like is just 2 exercises, 3 to 5 sets, and then the rep range is going to really be dependent on the exercise. But the idea is you're only really doing exercises for about 20, maybe 30 minutes at max. But you're not getting sore and you're doing it every single day. And then by the end of the week, it's going to be the same volume as those 2 strength training workouts, just spread out throughout that week. I want to emphasize not getting sore while you're doing this, because the same energy that you use to recover from soreness is the same energy that's going to be used to recover from whatever injury that you're going through. So if you create soreness and you create much more stress that your body can't handle, it's just going to take longer for your body to recover fully. Focusing on having the right mindset through this period of time is super important. Whether it's a few weeks to a few months, you want to be prepared and be mentally strong. Bulletproof the mind so that when you come out of this, you're stronger than when you came in. Just like there's tools that we can use to strengthen our muscles and build athleticism, there's tools that we can use to strengthen the mind. This is going to be a period of time where you're not going to be able to make strength gains, but you can use this period of time to make mind gains. So find your form of meditation, find ways to quiet the noise, to rid yourself of stimuluses like the phone and distractions and stress. It can be in the form of breath work, of journaling, of reading, or just sitting in a meditative state. I'd also incorporate other recovery strategies with meditation like ice baths, PEMF therapy, sauna, red light therapy. These are all going to promote and support red blood cells and blood flow to the injured area, which is going to help with the recovery process. But the most important recovery hack, powerful than any drug, any biohack that you've ever heard of, it's completely free. Sleep is when all the magic happens, all the work that you put in throughout the day, right? Imagine construction workers inside your body. You're giving it the raw material and you're giving it the plans to build. But then when you sleep is when you actually give it the time for the construction workers to rebuild, to recover, so to speak. There's not actually construction workers in your body, but you get the metaphor. So if you're not giving your body adequate time to actually recover, you're prolonging the process of the recovery time. I'm going to repeat that again for emphasis. If you don't give the body enough time to recover, you're going to prolong the time that you are injured. I would also take this time to spend more time with loved ones. Keep yourself busy while you're in this state. Keep yourself surrounded by people that are going to support you. Try not to get stuck in this perfectionist, like I need to do everything 100% either, and find that right balance. So 80% of the time, try to do the right things. 20% of the time, learn to let go, and whether that's eating junk food, drinking, or being with family, as long as the intention behind it is to spend more time with loved ones, I think that is a great balance to have. So personally, I scheduled my surgery around the holidays so that I had time to spend with my family. I traveled, I ate, I drank, but that wasn't the norm. 20% of the time I was doing that, but 80% of the time I was focusing on my recovery. I was doing the right things. I was sleeping. I was doing the right trainings. I was meditating. When I ate to fuel my recovery. So it's really important to find that right balance for you during this time. So I'm out of the cast now and I'm cleared to get back to my routines. So let's say you're in a similar position where you're back, you're gonna do physical therapy and you're ready to get back to where you were before, right? The anticipation to get back is going to be super hard to resist, but in this state, it's almost like you're working out for the first time. Yes, you still have muscle memory, and yes, you're still doing some movement during this recovery phase, but you're probably not going to be in a position to do a full workout or whatever the heck you were doing before your injury. Most likely, if you do that, you're going to create too much soreness. You're not going to get stronger. You're just going to be spending too much time recovering and feeling really sore. And so if the goal is to build athleticism and get stronger, what I like to say is you want to do the least amount to elicit the most amount of change. And right after an injury, that's not very much. So do your best to gauge how you're going to come back into this by slowly starting with the minimum and then feeling out your body. Are you getting sore? Are you sleeping okay still? And then slowly start to progressively overload the amount of volume or load that you're gonna put on with your trainings, whether it's a sport, whether it's strength training, whatever it is. Start small and then feel it out, at least for the first week. And then after the first week, if it feels good, then start adding a little bit. But most of the time, you're gonna see that in that first week, it doesn't take much to get you to feel a little bit sore or to feel that you're stimulating a little bit of growth. So this was a pretty general type video if you're going through an injury and you're looking to maintain your muscle and athleticism while going through an injury. But I know this was very general, so if there's any more questions, let me know in the comments below and I'll do my best to answer them. Anyways, I'm out.